guys, welcome back to my channel Curls Books and Bites. My name is Mohita and I make food and book related videos on this channel. And today is yet another book recommendation video coming at you. You could say that this is like a continuation of the previous book recommendation video that I made here on this channel, which basically centered around a lot of fun books that I recommended you guys that you could pick up for this upcoming Diwali vacation. This video is going to be about thriller, mystery / horror genre, or books that generally fall vaguely in this category. So without further ado, let's begin. The first book that I am going to recommend is The Still House Lake and Killburn Creek, which is technically two books by Rachel K. If you're looking for a book that is like extremely gripping, action-packed and fast-paced, then this is a great pick. The premise is so superbly done. The book opens with our female protagonist, whose name is Gina Royal, finding out that her husband is a serial killer, and the garage of the house in which they are living is like his torture chamber, where he brings in like these random women and he tortures them, he rapes them and finally kills them. And this happens right under her nose, and she misses all the signs of him being a serial killer. She and her children constantly receive death threats and rape threats, and also because she cannot trust anybody, you're constantly like reading into every character a little more than necessary. So that's really awesome. But these two books are really well done, and the second book I think is better than the first one because you get to see a lot of her kids' perspectives in the second book. But all in all, these two books are very good. If you want to break out of your regular reading pattern of thriller books and books that are full of suspense and want to try something that is unconventional, I would strongly recommend 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. The title of this book is definitely like a spin-off of George Orwell's 1984, but this book has got nothing to do with the story. The storyline is completely different, and Murakami's writing is so dreamlike and it is so creepy. I was constantly waiting for something sinister and evil to happen in this book. We have three main protagonists in this book. One is Aomame. Aomame's character is wonderful. So she is like this gym instructor / physical instructor by day, but by night she is a vigilante assassin, and she takes it upon herself to eliminate shitty men in the society who have raped women, tortured them, who are even maybe serial killers. Some of them are serial killers, and who have oppressed the women in their life, but for lack of evidence have not been proven guilty in the court, guilty legally. The second protagonist that we have, actually the second and the third protagonist are kind of intertwined. So the second protagonist we have is Tengo, who is a mathematics teacher, and he aspires to become a writer. And the third protagonist is this teenage writer who has just recently received an award for her fiction book that has come out, her debut novel, and the way she has written is so raw and real that it might as well have been her own personal story. So Aomame kind of finds herself getting stuck in a parallel universe in Japan, and in spite of this book being very slow in its progress in the story, I have to say that this has been like the most impactful book of all the books that I'm going to recommend in this video today. But if you're not so much for slow books, and if you're not ready and willing to take up a book that is very heavy, then maybe you can pick up Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. This is a tiny book. Say you're traveling, right? It's Diwali vacation. You're going on a vacation, you're traveling on a train, and you need a book that doesn't require a lot of your undivided attention, but something that will keep you entertained in a long journey. This is totally the book. In fact, out of this entire recommendation list, if there is a book that I would say just blindly trust me and go for it, then it would be this one. I will only tell you one thing. There is an isolated island, and there are a certain number of people, and then there are a certain number of deaths. That's all I'm going to say because I don't really want to give away the plot. Another thriller book that I read, I think that was the first book that I read in 2018, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Here, our main protagonist is an investigative journalist who exposes a lot of corporate corruption that happens in Sweden. But one such investigation actually kind of backfires on him and he loses his job. Although he is right, he doesn't have enough evidence to prove that he is right. He is discredited as a journalist. He ends up paying a lot of money as compensation. He has no one to turn to. During his downtime, he is approached by this old fellow who is actually like an owner of a huge corporate conglomerate and who resides in a countryside in Sweden. So he calls upon this journalist to investigate a case of his missing niece, which has happened 40 years ago. So collecting clues and investigating this case is extremely hard, is extremely tough, and our protagonist doesn't know where to begin. But as he digs deeper into the family's secrets and as he gets to know more and more about this particular town and the people in it, he starts discovering some dangerous secrets, and that kind of puts him at risk as well. The second character in this book is the girl with the dragon tattoo herself. Title का नाम है. Her story is like completely independent of this main story that is happening in the book. However, it does have a connection towards the end. It's a nice read. The next creepy book that I'm going to recommend is actually a Marathi book, and I'm going to just switch to Marathi for this one tiny part of this video, only because this book is not translated in English. So unless and until like you know Marathi and you are a Marathi reader, like there's no point in you watching this part of the video, so you can skip to the next book. तर जे पुस्तक मी तुम्हाला रेकमेंड करणार आहे ते आहे खेकडा बाय रत्नाकर मतकरी. तुम्हाला जर मराठीची थोडी ओळख करून घ्यायची असेल आणि असं वाटत असेल की अरे आपण पुरेशी मराठी पुस्तकं वाचत नाही आहोत, पण असं एकदम कुठचं हेवी पुस्तक वाचायचं नाही आहे, तर मला वाटतं खेकडानी सुरुवात करायला काहीच हरकत नाही. मी सुद्धा खूप मराठी पुस्तकं वाचत नाही, कारण मराठी रीडिंग स्पीड माझा तसा स्लोच आहे ॲज कम्पेअर टू इंग्लिश. पण खेकडा मी वाचलं आणि मला खूप मज्जा आली. तर खेकडा पुस्तकात वेगवेगळ्या शॉर्ट स्टोरीज आहेत आणि म्हणजे त्यांचा एकमेकांशी काहीच संबंध नाही आहे, आणि प्रत्येक शॉर्ट स्टोरीचा एंड खूप निराळा आहे. म्हणजे आहेत फुल ऑफ सस्पेन्स आणि खूप क्रीपी स्टोरीज आहेत. भयकथा म्हणता येणार नाही, कारण सगळ्याच काही भुताटकीच्या अशा कथा नाही आहेत, पण खूप छान स्टोरीज आहेत. आणि म्हणजे रत्नाकर मतकरींची रायटिंग स्टाईल पण खूप छान आहे. छोटी छोटी वाक्य असतात आणि पण ती अशी इथे भिडतात आणि लगेच म्हणजे असा काटा येतो अंगावर. त्यामुळे डेफिनेटली ह्या दिवाळी वेकेशनसाठी एस्पेशली जर तुम्ही शाळेत असाल आणि मराठी हा विषय असेल आणि जर तुम्हाला अधिक मराठी पुस्तकं वाचायची इच्छा असेल तर खेकडा खूप छान स्टोरी आहे. फक्त तुम्हाला जर माझ्यासारखे असाल आणि लगेच थोड्या थोड्या गोष्टींनी भीती वाटत असेल तर रात्री झोपताना वाचू नका. Alright, the next book that I am going to recommend is a complete horror book, and I'm a woos, like I'm officially a woos. So this is like the only horror book that I have no idea how, but I managed to finish, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I read this book when I was in 8th or 9th. I was that young, and I just happened to read the Marathi translation of this book because that is what we had lying around in the house. So you, I think, should definitely pick up the English book, because if the Marathi translation was so awesome, then I can only imagine how the original book must be. But I loved the way that this book is written, and it has got nothing to do, like the vampire in this book has got nothing to do with the contemporary vampires that you get to see in a lot of like TV shows and books like Twilight. This one is really scary. So the way that this book is written are like logs of the different characters. So one of the characters is writing a diary. I think two of the characters are writing a diary, and one of them is like audio recording. He is a doctor at a mental hospital, and he is like audio recording the progresses of his patients, and you kind of get to see how all these logs that are maintained by the different characters in the book sort of build up to Dracula. And right from the first page to the last page, this book is crazy amazing. I mean, it's scary. Yes, it's very scary, but it's totally worth a try. I mean, if you want to begin with a horror book, I think you should begin with the classic. Another book that is a must mention, especially because I have read it and so many people have raved about this book, and so have I, and that is Gone Girl. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This book blew my mind away. I mean, so the basic plot line is wife goes missing and the husband is a suspect. So the first half of the book is written from the husband's point of view and the second half of the book is written from the wife's point of view. It's amazing. Maybe it's like a classic formula that's used, I don't know, but the book is fantastic. Again, blindly trust me on this one. It's amazing. It is, I think it's slightly gory though. I don't remember. I read this book a long time ago, but there are certain scenes that might be disturbing and there are certain thoughts that might be disturbing, but oh my god, what a book. Totally blew my mind away. So pick up one at least. Please pick up one this Diwali vacation and let me know which one you picked up. Let me know which one you decided on, and tell me in the comments which one you think is going to be, like, which one has piqued your curiosity the most. And also do follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel. If you have already subscribed to my channel, create another account and subscribe to my channel again. And follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle goes by the same name, curlsbooksnbites. And that's it. Bye.